See that?
Oh, the ring light. You got the ring light.
I caught it the halo, but it's ring light. Whatever.
Push it. Okay.
I'm Dora the shoot. Dora the Exploradora here. Hold on. I probably need to make this go up higher.
Probably not too high because it'll cast a shadow on your eyes. I'm barely pulling off this, but I have a side light, and so but I probably should have another kicker that like it's kind. I mean, my eyes are a little dark, but like like right now your eyes are too dark. Like your hat is.
It's very. That's
back up.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Back up a little bit. See how it lights up your eyes a little better. You might need to
lean it,
lower it just a little bit. There you go.
What is that? Did that blow it out?
Yeah, it's like right there. Like right there. Can you stay right there?
Sure.
That's like right about where you need to be.
So I have now leaned that on the back of my guitar stool. So leaning over my my laptop. It's completely professional.
Does it not have a
lean mode? No.
It doesn't have like a tripod that just stands on its own?
No, it does. But I'm so country rigging this right now.
Just jerry rigging.
Yeah, I mean, it's so country. Like basically this episode is going to end that it's just flames. It's just going to be like, we haven't done this in 2 weeks.
True. I know. It's kind of crazy, man. I literally, when I missed that week, I don't know what was going on. I think it was a really rough day for me. And I was like, I do not want to be on camera right now. Like I will literally just not probably communicate well on camera.
So it's funny because Lisa was like, it was a tough day for us too. And I was like, nope, I'm going to show up completely unprepared and I'm going to do it. And she's like, just send him a text.
And, you were ready. So me canceling, you were like, yes.
No, 100%. I was like, oh, I was like, whatever. But it was real, like, I mean, like I didn't want to, if anybody watches this later on, I don't want them to feel like, oh, you always have it together and every week. And so you're just ready and prepared or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to come. And so the great thing is the last week has been even worse of mess, an ish show.
Oh.
And so I'm in my new house. However, it has just been bonkers. And so I'm still in the same boat that I was in last Monday night.
Really?
And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm still here
show up?
And I'm going to show up, and I haven't done a video in 2 weeks. And I want to. I have things on my whiteboard, and there are things, and I actually saw the title of a Jordan Peterson video. I've not watched it because I haven't done anything other than like house stuff and whatever and baby stuff. And it was just basically like, you're not, what is the title? Hold on. I think I have it up because I want to watch it, because I was basically like, you're a jerk for calling me out. You are not committed to something unless you are willing to sacrifice for it. And I was like, just stab me in the heart. Just,
Well, I had the same struggle. So this is interesting. So I literally had the same struggle because I know, Stephen Pressfield has a book, a really popular book called Turning Pro. And I mean, you have to do things that you're committed to, no matter what your feelings are. You can't listen to your feelings when you know in your brain what you should do. And I was like, okay, so am I a pro or am I amateur? And I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, I'm a pro. I'm just gonna show up. But literally, I did not want to be on camera. Like it was like it. I had a lot of empathy for people that are just like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And they can't really describe it. It's not like logical. It's just like, I am not going to be on camera right now, like at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's interesting because I've had some emails back and forth, Facebook messages with some people from the Chase. And I was like, hey, if I can't do a video, if I can't record, if I can't research, if I can't do it, like, at least I can pop on and like record an hour or 8.5, straight with searchers, and a couple of the people that are willing to go live with me and have done so in the past are very, camera averse or introverted,
Shy,
and they're like, I like you, so I like, and I enjoy, like, when I'm on camera with you, I enjoy it. However, I'm like, I need a week and a half to 2 weeks in advance to like get myself ready. And I'm like, really, just to be yourself? Like, because I'm so extroverted that it just like, I don't understand. All right. So you haven't even heard this, right? So the moving company moves us. They're like, check, no additional fee. Credit card will be a 3% processing fee. So we wrote them a check, and then we wrote the check, and then we got an email that said, thanks for your credit card payment for $500 less than the check. So we call, and they're like, oh, they tried to steal $500 from us.
Oh,
so we had to cancel our checking account.
What?
Because they have the check with the account number.
Oh,
so
well, but they moved you, right? So they get they get their money somewhere.
Yeah, so they took our personal check, and then they paid via online with their own personal credit card. But they charged us $500 extra on the check, and then they were going to cash the check and pocket the $500 extra.
Oh.
And so since they had our bank account number and our routing number, if they were so inclined, they could have done whatever they wanted, because they had our name, our address, our bank account number, our routing number, whatever. So we were like, let's just go ahead and cancel. Like, so then we were like, what checks do we have outstanding? Like, do we have power bills? Do we have whatever?
Oh my goodness, dude.
So the last.
Gosh.
So I thought the week before was bad when I was like, yeah, we could probably cancel. And then like in the last week, it's just been like even worse.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, here's the deal. So I've got all this stuff. I've got I write down a honey-do list, even though it's really just me making the honey-do list. It's not her. She's not asking me to do it, but I know what needs to be done. And so it's my own personal honey-do list. And because we're having a kid so the due date's 17 days from when we're recording this. So in the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, we're like guaranteed to have a kid. So it's going to totally change everything. So I was like, okay, I can put off the kid stuff, the nursery, whatever, and I can record videos, or I can knock that out, and then I'll be free. Hopefully the kid will not come next week, and I can record next week. But if the kid does come, at least I'll be prepared for the kid. So yesterday I got my car seat installed in my car. And
nice.
I asked,
that takes forever,
bro. What is that? What?
It's like a rite of passage.
It is ridiculous.
You're like, yeah, just clip this in here, right? And you're like, an hour later, like wrestling with it, like
sweating profuse. I was like, what? What am I on a diet? Like, this is crazy. Oh,
that's great.
So, I will tell you this update. Update from what you said 2 weeks ago is I researched and found a video, and I have not done it with my previously recorded videos, but I tried pseudo. I watched it to make shorts, And if you in iMovie, if you take the video and you export it and then you do something, you open it back, and then you can like there's a process to be able to get it vertical, but you have to like flip the video. And I watched it 2 weeks ago and I was like, I'm gonna make shorts, and then everything blew up, and so I didn't. And so if you flip it sideways and then you import it,
resave it,
you can totally like, and then it gives you the box.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And then you have to flip it back over once you save it, and then it's like a short. And so it works. It's just 3 extra steps.
You know what you could do, honestly, is you could go and download DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci is like when they first came out, I think they were selling it literally for like 20 grand. That's how it was, like a professional grade, like movie software.
Oh.
And then when they sold to a bigger company, DaVinci, and then they just gave it away for free, which is crazy because everybody in the industry was like, what? They're giving this away. So you can literally go and download this software for free. And it's like professional movie grade software.
Like Final Cut Pro?
Yeah. It's like just like that or better. And you can use it and download it. Now there is like a fee if you want to add some extra features and stuff, but the main program is free.
DaVinci
Resolve. So just type that into Google, and yes, it's intimidating from the standpoint of like, it's got a lot more bells and whistles and things you can do than iMovie, but you should be able to go into YouTube and type in resizing a video in DaVinci Resolve, and you can figure it out if you got half a brain, right?
Well, I mean, I may or may not have done Final Cut Pro with a bunch of stuff. So
true. Yeah. So I mean, you'll be able to do it super easy, but like you don't have to finagle all the things that you just said in iMovie to crop for shorts. That seems ridiculous. Just download a program that can get you the right orientation.
So yeah, I mean, I was just going to do it because it was the only thing that I knew, and I was like, okay, it's free. But if there's something else, DaVinci Resolve.
But there's a lot of people that they're tired. They're either tired of paying for software, or they just want a free option, right? So that's a great way to go. The other thing you can do on shorts is just use your phone, right? And it just film it in the app. But I think if you're trying to remix content you've already made, and you're just trying to like, hey, I've already shot this and it's the right lighting and I set it right and it's all great, and you just want to edit that, then of course you need to figure out how to remix it and rechop it. But if you have original content that you're creating, you can just shoot it right on the phone. Now, this was a debate, not a debate. This was a conversation we were having in one of my LinkedIn posts. I interviewed Matt Ragland at the ConvertKit conference, and we were talking about how there's this trend towards, long form versus short form content, where a TikTok is like a mini YouTube, right? You can start off with this long YouTube. Now you have TikToks for video. And then Twitter threads is the equivalent of writing a big long blog post, but now you just want the condensed mini version of it is like a Twitter thread. And so we were talking about these concepts, and somebody that runs an agency commented like, hey, I disagree. I'm taking the other side of this. Like, I think, long form content that you repurpose for TikTok is fine. And this is what I do. I start with the long form and I chop it all up into short form. And that's what I do it. That's how I do it. And I said, we don't disagree. Like that we agree with that. That's a great, strategy if you want to do that. It's just the point we were making, and that Matt was making, was you have to contextualize the content for the platform you're posting it on, right? Like, you have to know how they use the slang and the music and the edits and the emojis, and how you're posting it, how you're using it. Because he said even and then Gary Vee was talking about this the other day. He said, even the single person, not even talking about different demographics, but like one person is consuming content differently on different platforms. Like they want to watch a long form on YouTube, but they want to watch short form on TikTok. They don't want to get on TikTok and be like, an hour? What? Well, am I going to watch this for an hour? Like, what are you talking about? It's just not the appropriate place to just repost something if you're not repurposing it. And so the other point we were making that Matt was making was that, and in asking the question, I was kind of trying to pull out of the people I was interviewing, is that there are young people right now, well, all ages really, but they're starting with short form as the first original content. They're not even making long form and then repurposing it. They're just starting with the short form as the original content. And then if it pops off and people like it, then they start graduating up and making longer forms of the content, right? So then they'll come out with maybe a podcast or a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or something longer and bigger that's more involved from the short form. But they'll come up with a format that's original and the original art form of the platform itself, like a TikTok. They'll become a TikToker, right? They'll be a Vine artist that just does a 5-second video. And then if they get popular, they'll expand out and do other things. But the more entrenched players, and I was making this point in the comments to the agency owner, I said, you've been around a lot longer. And so if you were around when blogs were popular and where long form was popular and all these newer platforms that were getting shorter, catering to shorter attention spans and younger audiences coming out, you were naturally creating all forms, right? And you were migrating your content to the new platforms. Whereas if you're young and you just come out and your options are like, do a quick YouTube, a TikTok on your phone or record this long involved YouTube or podcast, they're going to choose TikTok and they're going to create original content there as their first move. And they're going to try to build an audience there.
You've mentioned TikTok a number of times. I do not have TikTok. I will never have TikTok. I could care less about TikTok. The only TikTok I like to think of is in Captain Hook and Peter Pan, and the TikTok of the clock in the crocodile. For those of us that are 40 years old that know that. I find it interesting because who's your target market or audience? So when you're talking about TikTok, and I was thinking, I just talked to my sister today, and she's like, "Oh, we're excited about the kid, whatever." And she has a daughter that is going to be a sophomore in high school, and I'm like, so that's my, like, when you were talking about TikTok in short form, like that was my person. Like, what would my niece consume? And I don't know if she's allowed to even have TikTok or, we're not getting into that, but if she, like, what level of IQ and what level of person is like consuming TikTok?
Everyone, all ages, all demographics. I know, but
like, is Elon Musk
seeing
on TikTok?
I'm seeing history repeat. When I was doing ads long time ago on Facebook, people were saying, I'm not using Facebook. Who's on Facebook? Like teenagers are on Facebook. Like college people are on Facebook.
You had to have a college email address though.
Yeah.
We couldn't even get on Facebook because we were too old.
I know. So what I'm saying is eventually when a platform reaches the masses and you're talking about millions and millions of people use it, and then it gets into the billions, it's all age groups, because you can't sustain it on just kids using it, right? It migrates up to everyone. Now,
okay.
When I say everyone, I'm saying billions of people. That's bigger than most countries, right?
Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop you. Twitter, Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is saying Twitter is faking their number of active daily users. And so that offer no longer stands and is valid because it's more like 20% are fake bots rather than less than 5%. And so
sure,
if you've got like way less users, well, if a TikTok is coming out of China, how do we know that there are actually that many active users?
True. You might not.
And so then it's like, well, wait a minute, like maybe all of these tech companies are completely lying, and there's,
That's a valid point. Yeah.
150 million people rather than 1.5
Sure.
billion.
Sure.
And what's the difference to you and me? Like no difference, because you can cycle through 150 million people every day, and I will never get the same person. You can, whatever, like that number is so large. And so when you move from X number to the billions, it's like there's no difference to the end user, because it's just there's enough people to make it fake.
So the where the rubber meets the road on platforms that are new, right? And TikTok, you could argue, is not new. It was Musically, and then it morphed, and now it's TikTok and all of that. But when you look at people that know how to use it intelligently, like they leverage it for their business,
Yep.
these are very successful people that are able to make a lot of money off leveraging people, clients, businesses that use it, right? They're able to make money, find customers, sign people. They're able to find new artists. The new record label model is based off TikTok. So if you're a new artist and you're trying to make it in the world, you better be on TikTok, right? There's no other, they're actually fighting over new artists on TikTok, right? So it's a real commerce platform. It has a real ad platform that you can pay for. It's attracting businesses that are paying for ads on the platform. So it's no longer a thing for kids. It's a real business, and it's a real entity.
If you're in that micro business,
but that's the same thing that everyone says. Do you know how many times I've argued with doctors?
You're not looking for exterminators. You're not looking.
They're on there though, and they make business, and they get business off of it. They're on there. I've seen them. You know how many times I've argued with doctors that said that their patients were not on Facebook? Like, till I was blue in the face. My patients are not on Facebook.
Okay. Let's do this. My wife's a surgeon. Who is going to have their surgeon on TikTok like, yo, about to cut you open? Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Slice, dice.
That's not how they get on TikTok. They get on TikTok like, let me tell you how this surgery works. I'll walk you through it. Like, hey, did you ever wonder how this surgery works? Here's how it works. Here's a 3D model. Here's 30 seconds. They already know how the surgery works.
Educational TikTok, really?
Huge. Absolutely huge. See, because you're not on it, you don't understand. I just had somebody the other day tell me that they were a tax professional that watched a 30-second or probably less TikTok video and learned something on how to solve a client issue. And literally it was at the right time, right place. They watched it, they looked over, and they just made like a couple grand helping a client. So, I mean, look, it's just another platform that people congregate. If you're too tied up in, whether it's like, oh, that's beneath me or whatever. The bottom line is, it's where people
I just don't want my private information in China's hands. I mean, I'm sure America's selling it to China.
Everyone's selling your information. Facebook, Google. I mean, literally Amazon. I mean, look, Amazon now. Think about this. Amazon, right? Trusted American company, Jeff Bezos, everybody knows, right? They, between the Echo, the Ring, and the Nest, they know more and can listen to more conversations in your house than probably Apple with the phone sitting there, right?
That's why we don't have any of that.
I know, me neither, but I'm just saying that the power that these companies have to hear every conversation and know exactly what you're doing is huge.
I saw this comedian, this little thing, and he goes, I was reading this book the other day. It's 1984. He was like, man, life has gotten so much better since then.